Good morning, my people. Top of the morning. Yes, sir. It is Monday, September 8th, and I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ because with him, all things is possible. Top of the top to all my kings and queens out there moving in the streets, going to work. All the kids is going to school. Please make sure you go there. No skipping. Arrive there safe and have a blessed day. All the parents who's trying to get to where they need to get to, please arrive where you going safe. I hope everybody's feeling blessed and appreciated and thankful for seeing another day. And we're knowing with him all things is possible. Yes, sir. Happy Monday to all my good people. Give me a minute, y'all, because I'm in here trying to get my self together. I have somewhere I have to be. Oh God, my volume wasn't even. Oh Lord, my volume wasn't even all the way up. Y'all might have not even heard me. It's all good. Y'all know how I started off anyway. Y'all might have only heard me a little bit, but I didn't realize my volume was down. It's all right though. Um, so yeah, it's Monday. It's fight week. Um, I won't be getting into the fight until Friday. I'm gonna wait till after the weigh-in. You know, some of y'all gonna go on the whole week with it. I'm not doing all that. That's just gonna annoy the hell out of me. So I'm not doing that. So Friday I will be. This week will be a regular week. Now I will be in the gym with certain fighters that I will be talking to them probably about it. But there's a few amateurs you can expect to see me with um, this week that I'm going to make happen. I got one today. The female amateur, y'all seen me interview her before. You just see me recently in a picture with her Saturday. Today I'll be with her. And for the rest of my amateurs out there. But as of today, we're getting ready to have a recap on the new Cops and Kids Gym Bronx Legends that was just open Saturday. So let's get into it. So for my newcomers, my regulars, everyone, welcome to the No Duck Zone podcast. Let's go. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and make sure that you get the word out to your peoples that this is the one of the best places to be for the morning. No drama over here, stress free, baby. So I want to say shout out number one to Pat Russo, um, my man Maestro, Nisa, everybody who had played the role in getting this Cops and Kids finally done. For 15 years, the Bronx has been waiting, and they finally had got it. Took a minute, um, but we have to realize that things are not in our timing; it's in God's timing. So it didn't actually take the person 15 years for it to happen. There's a lot you have to go through when you're trying to get stuff done. Excuse me, y'all. Saturday was beautiful. It was amazing. Um, I love being in the Bronx anyway because that's my borough. No matter how crazy that borough is, that's my borough, and I love it. Always will. Well, I don't love it, but I'm from the Bronx, so I don't need to love it because that's where I'm from. The love comes with it already. But shout out to everybody. The community came out. Peter Quillen came out. Kid Chocolate, y'all know him. Shout outs to him. I didn't get a chance to grab a pic with him. I should have when I had the opportunity. It's all good. Pete Dobson, y'all know Pistol Pete came out. Shout out to Pete. Um, a lot of people, man. I mean, it was probably one of the most amazing grand openings that I've been a part of, and I've been a part of a couple grand openings, but that Saturday was beautiful. Um, if you have not, and I repeat, if you have not gotten to get to the gym, because I believe today is the day that they open officially, as far as taking people. Uh, get to 1761 Walton Avenue in the Bronx. Again, that's 1761 Walton Avenue in the Bronx. Cops and Kids. Yeah, tell them No Doug Zone sent you. And make sure you talk to the right people, because some people will be like, who the hell is that? You know what I mean? But I'm even thinking about going and train myself. Uh, and I never even trained that Cops and Kids. I've been there a million times in Brooklyn and never even trained. But this one right here, all I have to do is get on the train and go. So I would expect to see myself there a lot for the winter going into next year. It's a beautiful place to be. Parents uh, that might be in the Bronx or in the New York area, uh, try putting your kids up for these gyms. I remember I talked about this Saturday morning, how important it is to have these gyms stay open, and not only have them stay open, but to build gyms, because there's no reason why we can keep these liquor stores open and keep all these other smoke shops, all these other places. And no disrespect to liquor stores, like I told you before, I sip, but there's a lot of places that don't serve a purpose and they stay open. So we need it. It's important that we keep these gyms open. Um, Shout out to Brooke, the big deal. Um, Shout out to my man Price Teller. Um, my man Jay Spence. You know, it was good seeing him. Coach Self. It was so many people looking forward, to see him, going to this event. And it was glad for me because I was able to do what I was supposed to do, and that was go create content. Even though one of my videos I lost, um, that was important to me, but it was okay though. We're not crying over spilled milk. I went and created content. Um, I'm hoping now next that we see a Cops and Kids in Harlem. Now, even though I'm a Bronx dude, I feel like I would have loved to have been in the one in the Bronx. It's okay though. I've been living in Harlem for 7, 8 years. It's cool. Hopefully, when Cops and Kids get to Harlem World, yeah, I gotta tell my man Pat Russo, I want PC in that. I want parts in that. And I know they're gonna make their way to Harlem World, just as I hope they make it to Queens and maybe Long Island. But I'm definitely want PC in that. Um, because there's no other gyms like that that's really doing exactly what they're doing and how they're doing it. How they're doing it is totally different from how everybody else is doing it. Cops and Kids is a gym that always gets criticism. They always get criticism. They always get criticized about a lot of stuff. Not only about the name of the gym, but just um, certain things that just happen that it doesn't sit well with people. But what made me look at them different? I had to realize it doesn't matter what your name is or how good you're doing or what you're doing for people. That people are always going to have something to say. I do good for people, at least I try to. And you sometimes you don't get the same love back, but you can't stop working. You have to continue to do what you do because you serve a purpose. BVO, what up? Everybody make sure they go subscribe to my brother BVO Sports TV. And my brother D Free. Go subscribe to a lot of the brothers out there that's doing what they supposed to do. So you're not gonna please everybody, and it's okay. But when I see what Cops and Kids is doing, BVO, the next time you're in New York, BVO, you make sure you come to the Bronx. Come see Cops and Kids. Huh? You make it your business to come on to Cops and Kids. It is worth coming to. 1761 Walton Avenue, the Bronx. My borough. And I'm hoping for the kids who's in that community, in that area, because this is the problem. This is where we got lost. The PAL was a great program, and then it faded away. Maybe I'm saying it wrong. It faded away. November? Okay. I'm gonna send you my number so you holler at me. I always told y'all boys and girls clubs, YMCA's is important to happen. A lot of these kids, I'd rather see them in these programs losing, playing games, than out here in the streets losing their life. So I'm hoping this new Cops and Kids brings some type of life to the people in the BX. And that's no shade to other gyms in the Bronx because they're doing what they're supposed to do. But this Cops and Kids just moves a little different. And they all about kids and their educations, about doing what they're supposed to do. So no matter how good you think you can fight or how much of a good boxer you might be, or whatever the case may be, if you're not doing what you're supposed to do in school, yeah, you're only hurting yourself. So just keep in mind of that, because some of us think that, hey, I'm good at this, and sometimes we let our skills take over what it is that we really supposed to be doing, because your real skills are you supposed to be developing yourself in school, preparing yourself for a better life. But shout outs to everybody Saturday. It was amazing. The block party, food being given out. News 12 shows up. NYPD's on deck. Shout outs to the youngsters out there that was I forgot what you called them. But shout out to my man Ant, man. My man Ant. My man Ant, who's always serving the community, rather if he has a uniform on or not. Shout out to Nisa, who the day before just went out there. I think a day or two before, she just went out there and won her the N, what was it, NABA or the NBA or NAB, one of those belts she just won. Um, Congratulations to Nisa, going out there always doing what she do. I'm glad to see her back in action. Y'all stop fronting on my girl Nisa. You understand? We need to see her in action more. She should be out there on most valuable promotions. She should be signed to somebody. Somebody grab her. Because the woman can fight. So let's keep that in mind. Um, and the big deal. Y'all make sure y'all check out on the Instagram. But it was amazing to walk in the gym. When gyms are new, you get that fresh smell. I'm walking around and I'm looking at it, sizing it up, and I'm saying when they get their first show in here, it's gonna be amazing. When they get their show in there, I'm gonna be in there hard body because it is the BX, and not only that, it's not far, and it gives me something to look forward to. So when it comes to doing shows, I'll definitely be there. I definitely will support them. Nothing will stop me from supporting them. Nothing will stop me from being in the building with them. Rather, people want to see me in there or not. There were some things I had to think about as I was moving in there because I had this kind of attitude before going in the building that like I had went off on one of my videos where I told y'all I wasn't shaking and faking. So when I got in there, um, it was a lot of people I didn't pay attention to. You know, I came in there to support Cops and Kids. I came in there to support a lot of other fighters that might have not been a part of Cops and Kids. It's cool. And I came in there to serve my purpose and then respectfully to get the hell out of there. And that's what I did. And I left satisfied because I came in there to do exactly what it is that I said I was going to do. And the one thing about it is no matter how you feel in life, what you're going through, how much you feel like you're not supported or your so-called people, your so-called friends or whatever, or they don't check on you or they don't hold you down, whatever the case may be. You just got to remember that. And I'm not trying to get religious, but you just have to remember that God got you. As long as you remember that God got you, you don't need anybody's permission on this earth to be great. You don't need nobody's permission on this earth to be great when you know God got you, because He is responsible for you doing what you're doing. So even though sometimes we get in our feelings, we got to keep that in mind. So as I'm moving around the building, I'm telling myself that you're going to be places where, if, you know what? Do y'all remember when I said, if y'all could go back to remembering what I said, that when I said you're going to, you don't go places where you're not appreciated, you're not accepted, and you're not wanted. Well, I might I might renege on what I said, because there's sometimes you're going to be in places where it's just like that. But if the love overpowers the hate, it's nothing nobody can do about it. Because sometimes people like to pick a corner. People like to pick a corner and go talk to you about it. Talk about you in that corner, as if as if you don't know what they're talking about. You may not know exactly what they're saying, but you know what they're talking about. And me, I don't too much worry about all that. And shout out to my brother Maestro, man. Um, his collaboration with him being in Cops and Kids is sweet. I'm glad that you're there, Maestro. Um, I've been talking to you and knowing you for a while now, brother. I watch you elevate in this game. And who better to have at Cops and Kids than you? That was a perfect fit. But I ain't gonna lie, when they get one in Harlem, I'm letting y'all know I want PC in that. I want PC in that. Like when you talk about working with these fighters and just being there for them, as far as amateur, you gotta have No Doug Zone a part of that, baby. Now I know I get a little crazy sometimes, and y'all hear me say stuff online, and he's just talking out of turn. No, man. Just like my name, I'm not gonna duck anything. So sometimes I bring stuff up and say stuff, and people go, "Yo, no. That's what it is. That's me. That's what it is." And sometimes you're going to have to be, a majority of the time, you're gonna have to be like that, because these kids need to hear the truth. When you're talking to these kids, you can't sugarcoat nothing with them, because every era is different from when we were coming up. And for some of y'all that might be older than me, depends on what era you're from, right? If it's the 60s or 70s, every era is different. So with these kids, you can't sugarcoat nothing with them. You gotta let them know when they messing up, versus saying, yeah, stuff happens. Yes, stuff does happen. But to make sure that they don't end up in that predicament again, knowing that could get them some jail time or whatever the case may be, we have to correct that. That's why it's so important for me to be in these amateurs' lives. That's why it's so important to have this connection with them. That's why I don't give a damn about when y'all be talking about professional boxing. I really don't be giving a shit. I really don't care. Why should I care? Why should we? When you got a lot of these fighters, not a lot of them, but you got some of them. Some of them got their parents. Then you got some that don't have nobody to look up to. But rather, if they have somebody to look up to or not, we still have a responsibility to hold these fighters down, even if they don't grow up to be professional fighters. Regardless, It's our job to put them out there so people will know, the world will know who they, who they are. So as I'm in there Saturday and I'm just building with people, networking, because that's another important thing, networking. Yeah, I'm sorry. Y'all walked in, thought I was talking about Crawford and Spence, right? I mean, I said Crawford and Spence. Crawford and Canelo, right? Got him. Nope. Y'all can catch me doing that Friday. There's going to be some people that's going to be doing it today. I'm just not doing it today. So sorry if that's what you came over here for. If you read my thumbnail, you'll know what it said. Y'all wouldn't be so quick to dip out if you read the thumbnail. Some of y'all are so spoiled. It's a damn shame y'all so spoiled. Some of these other channels got y'all spoiled. Y'all wake up in the morning looking to argue or damn, y'all want to look and argue over some shit. Not over here. Because this is the home of real conversations. So shout outs to all the amateurs out there Saturday, man. I appreciate y'all, man. And I'm gonna make it my business now to get up with a lot of y'all Thursday. I have somewhere to be, and I'm hoping I can make it Thursday. But I got somewhere I got to be Thursday with another amateur, so I'm hoping I can make it there with them. That's all I'm about to be doing out here. It's what I've been doing, but I'm about to really go hard now with these amateurs. Even if it's not me catching them on a Monday or Tuesday, even if I'm catching them on a Saturday or something, I'm about to go in now. And we hopefully there's some gyms that might not come and do exactly what Cops and Kids is doing, but maybe it's something similar. That's all I care about. What y'all care about with all this other shit, I don't care. I want to see some Boys and Girls Clubs, some YMCAs, some more boxing gyms come up with something for these kids. All this other stuff that y'all care about out here, I don't care about. I don't. I care about some of these kids not dying in the streets and making it to a certain age where they can graduate high school and go off to college. But y'all don't care about that. Y'all too busy worrying about who's fighting who. Arguing on these panels and channels for 4 to 6 hours about fighters that don't give a crap about y'all. And we're trying to make a change in some of these kids' lives if we can do that. If it's possible. And it is possible. And with a little help of the parents, it's even more possible. We want to see these kids pick up the gloves, not the guns. We want to see them pick up a book, not a knife. We don't want to see that. We don't want that. It's happening too much. But with the cooperation with the community, Crush the Legend, what's up, OG? Philly in the building. With the cooperation from the community, everybody can come together. It doesn't matter if you're from the Bronx, Philly, Jersey, LA, Maryland. It doesn't matter what part of the world you're from. When the community can come together as one, we can stand together. Who could be against us? That's for any part of the world. So when we get gyms, when we get these programs, which I feel like it's not enough programs. New York City is a big city. You would think, oh God, y'all should have 1 million programs out there. Well, sometimes things go wrong with the programs and then they vanish. Sometimes money has something to do with it. You know, they sit there and say, you know, everything's about the kids is our future. And then we find out they're doing something else with the money. And then all of a sudden these programs don't exist anymore. And now you like, what happened? How did this program just go away? Or we can't get enough kids to get in the program. Whatever the case may be, it's always an excuse that they have. So when we see somebody or we see people like Cops and Kids, you got to enjoy that. I believe this is their fourth one. There's two already on Staten Island, one in Brooklyn, now the Bronx. Oh, Queens and Harlem, look out. Queens and Harlem, look out. This is going to happen. But Pat Russo, you know I love you, Nisa. I love all y'all, but I ain't going to hold you. I ain't going to hold y'all. They'll probably never look at this. I hope they do, though. Maestro, all my people, when y'all doing it in Harlem, I'm telling you right now, I don't care if it's on the east, west, I don't care. And when I mean PC, I don't mean, oh, I'm getting paid for it. No, that's not what I'm talking about, because I'm getting paid regardless. I want PC in it. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, I got to get PC in that. There's no way I can't get PC in that. We ain't even talking about getting paid. But it's beautiful. Me having that connection with the kids and being there, it makes perfect sense. So rather if it's Staten Island, which I'm going to get to the other one in Staten Island, I'm coming for them too. So rather if it's Staten Island, rather if it's Brooklyn, Bronx, Queens, Harlem, it all serves a good purpose. And we need the community. We need the communities to get involved for these kids. We need it. We need the parents. We need the parents to do it. Parents, we know you busy, but you're not that busy. When it comes to your child, you got to make some time. And would you rather see your child pick up some boxing gloves, or would you rather see them pick up some guns? Or pick up a knife? And the boxing is not for them to go out and use it and possibly hurt somebody, because once these kids are not stupid, just like adults are, when people know you got some type of self-defense life you live. Oh, what's a self-defense life? People who take up self-defense. But it's called self-defense because you are defending yourself if need be. It's not for you to learn it and then go out there and use it if it's not necessary to use. You know, hey, the first person that look at me wrong, I'm gonna box their head off. That's not what it's for. See, because now, even if you do that, you can be in trouble and go to jail or something, or possibly that person comes back and kills you. They're gonna want to do something to you. So that's not what the boxing is for. It's not for you to go out and use it and think, hey, I've been boxing. I've been learning boxing for 3 months, 6 months. Run up on me, I'm going to beat your face off. That's not what it's for. It's not what it's for. And if any of you young kids are thinking that, then boxing might not be for you. You might want to join some tough man tournament or something. So we don't want to go out our way to make these gyms that we're a part of look like they're teaching violence. Yes, boxing could get violent when you're when you're actually boxing. But outside of that, that's not what that means. Self-defense. And some people need to be reminded of that. So we want to continue to see programs like this go on. And like I told y'all, one day I want my own. It's all in God's time. It's never in our time. It took 15 years that they wanted the Cops and Kids in the Bronx. It's not because it was Pat Russo's plan or anybody else involved. It was God's plan. That was something that, yeah, of course, Pat had it planned and that's what he wanted, but it was all in God's timing. Everything is all in God's timing. There's a lot of things that we want. There's certain vacations we want. There's a certain amount of money we want. There's a neighborhood we want to move in. There's a car we want to drive. There's a school that we might want to send our kids to, or whatever the case may be. But it's all in God's timing. Sometimes you try to rush it, and then when you rush it, you're not ready for what comes for it. But at least when it does come, and you've been waiting all this time, you know how to handle it. You know how to handle it. I would love my gym now, but it might not be in God's timing. It might be in God's timing for me to work in somebody's gym and then eventually move on and get my own gym. Maybe that's in God's timing. So if that's in God's timing, I got to wait. And I would love it. I would love to have my own gym, to have people come through and do exactly what Cops and Kids is doing, to have programs, not for it to just be a boxing gym, but to also have different programs. Because sometimes people need help in certain departments. Now, we can't go around paying people's rent, but there's certain things that people need help with that we could be some assistance. But if the communities are ever going to be better, if the cities are going to be better, everybody has got to work with each other and not against each other. Because, I feel like when it comes to my community, everybody always hollering about they want, but ain't nobody pushing for nothing. Or somebody's trying to step on somebody's toes. So we can holler all that we want, but we're not doing anything about it. So when we look at Cops and Kids in other places that's like that, and shout outs to all the gyms in the BX though. Morris Park, John's Gym, El Maestro, all y'all, Bronx Chester. Y'all know who y'all are. King's Boxing, Warpath. Shout outs to y'all. Shout outs to all the gyms. Now, we ain't going to just discredit because Cops and Kids, now we discredit all the rest of the gyms in the Bronx. We ain't about to do that. Shout outs to all the gyms. Bronx, Brooklyn, the whole New York City. So, if you are a parent, whenever there's a grand opening, something at a boxing gym in your city, your community, Josh Sanders, what's up? Abraham, what up? Whenever there's a boxing gym in your community, even if you're not a boxing fan or not, you might want to think about attending just to see. Because there's not too many boxing gyms that have programs where they can actually help kids for school and all. That might be something that y'all might want to stop and look at. It ain't just about programs. Some of these kids are walking around angry and you don't even know why they're angry. Boxing can change a lot of that. It's about discipline, controlling that anger, versus learning how to fight and then going out there thinking you could whoop your whole school, because these kids nowadays do not care about that. If you think if a child could pull a gun out and kill another child because he told him to stop spraying him with a water gun, what do you think he's going to do against a guy who's taking self-defense classes? Because that's what boxing is, self-defense. In case somebody didn't know that. Oh, no, self-defense is martial arts. No, you idiot. Anything with combat is self-defense. Mixed martial arts, karate, boxing, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, whatever you want to call it. It's self-defense for y'all that didn't know. So if you're out trying to use that when it's not supposed to be used, then 9 times out of 10, 2 things are going to happen. You're going to be in jail or you're going to be dead because somebody's not going to let you get away with almost killing them because you're happy about what you learned. So anytime there's a gym opening up in y'all communities, man, go stop and check it out. It's important we keep these gyms open, and it's important that we build gyms. I told y'all. I just told y'all this Saturday, right? All you content creators hollering about, I love boxing, da 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 da. I go to the gym sometime. I take my okay. Why don't we all get together? Why everybody get together and eventually open up one? Even if you don't even open one, if you live in a project, you can open up one in your community. Open one up in the center. Might not be no ring in there, but do it. Something that we can have it. I would do it right now if I could, but I'm working on some things. I got some things I'm working on, and I'm working on it because it takes time. But I got some things I'm working on. But it makes perfect sense. But when I'm at this gym, like I said, this is that's all I see. I see something more than just boxing. I see a lot of kids who could actually take it and do something with it. And it's not just about them becoming pro. It's not about them going just to nationals or to the Olympics or to ring masters or to the Golden Gloves or to the Metros. It's actually them being able to help another kid. You know what I love to see when I go to gyms? I love to see kids helping out other kids, rather if they're younger or if they're the same age as them. That takes patience. A lot of kids would be like, I don't got time for that. I'm 15, he 13, or I'm 15 and he's 15. Man, I ain't got time for that. I ain't got time to be trying to teach him. But they work with them. If that 50-year-old kid's probably been boxing ever since he was, I don't know, 8 years old, and here it is, this other 15-year-old might have been in the gym for 2 weeks. But that kid, the other 15-year-old's been doing it since he was 8, and this other kid walked in and been doing it for 2 weeks. That's a beautiful thing. Working with each other. That's the most beautiful thing that you can see. Walking in the boxing gym. And I've been in plenty of gyms, not just cops and kids. I've been in plenty of gyms where I've walked and witnessed that. And it warms my heart to see that. And we want to continue to see more of that. But shout out to cops and kids, Bronx Legends, man. Like I said, 1761 Walton Avenue. Get on down there, y'all. Like I said, they expected some people today. Hell, I would have went down there today, but I was just there on Saturday. I'll be there though. I'll be there. Some point this week, I'll make my way. Not this week, next week. I'll make my way. You might walk up in there and catch me hitting the bag or something. Yo, I got to get ready to get back in the gym anyway. So I'll be 43 in 4 months. 4 months. Ain't that crazy? I'll be my 43rd birthday, 4 months. That's crazy. So I got some things. I got about 4 months and 9 days. It's crazy. 4 months and 9 days. So I need to get in some type of shape. But shouts to, like I said, shouts to all the amateurs, all the coaches, and all the officers from different police departments that popped up. The Bronx Borough president that popped up. I forgot her name, Jesus, but she's on my Instagram and y'all go see. Um, I didn't even know there was a female one. This is how I'd be so busy and so caught up in my life in boxing. I don't even keep up. And with me not being in the BX2, I don't really like keep up with certain stuff. But that's all right though. I'm gonna get I'm a pay attention to some stuff. I just be all over the place with it. But shouts to everybody. Shouts to everybody who fought Friday and Saturday, because the same day it was an event going on at Gleason's. Shouts to everybody who fought Friday, Saturday. And if you fought, either I forgot or you didn't tell me. It was some of y'all that didn't even tell me anything, but hey, it's all good. Shouts to y'all. Shouts to the winners and the losers, because everybody can't do it. We always shout out the winners and the losers. No, it's not just about winning, because even when you lost, you still won. because everybody cannot get in that ring and do it. A couple of events are coming up. I believe next week, next Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, next Saturday, September 20th, they back in Gleason's again. Um, I don't know if I'm at that event. I might be. Uh, there's probably maybe an 80% chance you might see me there. If anybody's on that card, I'm just letting you know there's an 80% chance. I know. Excuse me, the day before, Church Street Boxing Gym has something going on too. So it's actually going to be amateur boxing back to back 2 nights. You won't see me back to back. Before you guys will see me back to back, but you just won't see it like that anymore. You're gonna see me probably basically whenever you see me. But September 19th, Church Street Boxing. All right, and then the next day in Brooklyn, back in Brooklyn, Gleason Boxing Gym. You guys could get tickets online if you don't purchase them at the door. So for you guys that's not up on amateur boxing, that probably have no interest, or you might have interest in it, come see the next up and coming stars. Not just in New York, but wherever. Come see the next up and coming stars. I'm telling you, it'll make you guys distance yourself from these boxing arguments, because you'll be sitting there saying to yourself, hey, this kid is dope. This kid is dope. Hey, when y'all get a chance, go back and watch this kid. Go back and watch that kid. You will really distance yourself from these petty conversations when it comes to talking about boxing. So it is September 27th. My man Christian Vasquez will be Strong Island Fight Night Series 8. I believe this is 8. Will be going down in Long Island Stereo Garden, September 27th. That's like the amateur pay-per-view right there. I'm telling you, between him and Ronnie Love, Harlem House of Champions, boy, I need to see those two battle it out. Hey, Ronnie, Christian, I need to see a Harlem House of Champions versus a Strong Island. Now, how do you do that? I don't know, bro. I don't know how we gonna do that. It's gonna be crazy though. But that would be a nasty battle. Y'all got to figure that out. I don't know how you would do it, but it would be great for amateur boxing to see something like that, because that's what makes the shows dope. That's what brings more people. Some of these parents that might not be familiar, because there's a lot of people out there that don't even know amateur boxing exists. They know about boxing, but they know about professional boxing. A lot of people are still on Mike Tyson, and they don't even know about amateur boxing. Hell, they didn't know about amateur boxing when they saw Mike, for some people. But this is why this is important. This is why the community has to get involved more. Parents, we know you be busy all the time, but you got to come to your kids' fight. I don't want to see them fight. But I know it's hard, but they need their morals. They need the support. They need it. And y'all can't come to the fights crashing out because you see your baby getting beat. It's a part of boxing. When we get there, let's not try to fight the referees. Let's not try to fight the judges. We can't fight the vice president. We can't do any of that. I've seen a lot of y'all try to crash out. You're just gonna put the person you coming to watch fight. You're gonna put them in a predicament where they can't get any fights no more, and you're gonna be banned from coming to the fights. You're going to be banned for coming to the fights. So we don't want to do that. Some of you parents are a little too old to be acting like you're in high school. So we have to maintain that when we come to these shows, because at the end of the day, it's about the kids. You know what we should see at the end of the fights? We should see everybody taking a picture together, both sides of the families, taking a picture together, because it is about the kids. Y'all are coming there, y'all are crashing out, you're ready to throw chairs, you got to be escorted out, you're getting up in each other's faces. Now it went from boxing to you don't know what block I'm from. Yeah. You don't know what block I'm from. You don't know what set I claim. Yo, man, you step outside, I'll pop you in your face. Everything that has nothing to do with why we're there. I'm speaking from experience, or I'm not speaking because what somebody told me. I've been to enough fights in the last 5 years to watch hell damn near break out. You're ready to beat the ref up. Yeah, of course the ref is going to make some calls or decisions that you're not going to like. I've been places where I go, what type of nonsense is that? I've seen it. I've seen what judges done made, and I go, what fight was y'all watching? Yeah, man, they be gang banging and all. I'm like, wait a minute, whoa, 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 whoa. And that's embarrassing to the fighter. But then for some of you fighters, y'all participate on it. I've seen some of you fight. It ain't just the family. I see some of you fighters cause a lot of ruckus. I know y'all be caught up in the moment, but don't matter how nice you are, or how nice you think you are, or how much you think that they need me, you could always be set on the shelf because of your behavior. And remember, whatever you do, it travels around. So no matter what state you're from, when you go outside your state, stuff goes around. Hey, man, I don't know about that kid, man. He tends to get a little, he tends to get a little crazy after fights, or his family comes and they be doing a little too much. So we won't just talk about the family. Some of you fighters, y'all got to relax. I understand y'all be in the moment. Oh, we don't like them. What's the reason not to like them? Coaches, I don't like, some of y'all got to stop. Yo, man, listen, I do not know, bro. It'd be crazy. And I'd be looking like, I've seen plenty of stuff, Joshua. I'd be like, what the? But we can't crash out. I was at one event. I ain't gonna say what it was. I was at one event, and I'm like, I seen a kid grab a chair, and I'm like, yo, whoa, 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 whoa. I had to grab my wife, like, yo, we got to get up out of here, because I don't care who throw the chair. Throw a chair and it hit me or hit you, or if it hits you, then it's going to be like wrestling in here. It's just going to be a Royal Rumble, because I'm not going to play that. When I go to a boxing event, I don't expect it to be peaches and cream, because things happen. I expect more at a professional show. But you know, with amateurs, it's like, whoa. Whoa. And we don't need that. We don't need that. There's no game banging in boxing. And this is the reason why when I speak to y'all on YouTube and I see how y'all be up here 3, 4, 5 hours gang banging on boxing, I go, what are we doing? What are we doing? At any time you got to feel like you're about to bust your guns over a sport of boxing, maybe you don't need to talk it. Maybe you need to sit your ass on the sideline. You don't need to. That's why it's so easy for me to talk amateur boxing. Yeah, it might not be perfect. Yeah, amateur boxing has its flaws. Okay, but it's a much easier conversation to be a part of than talking pro boxing. We supposed to have professional conversations when we speaking about it. But because we open the door and allow anybody and everybody to walk in, that's why the conversations are so messed up. Yeah, they are, until they run into somebody real. And I go, yes, the set you claim, what does that have to do with the boxing conversation that we having? I mean, rather if it's amateur boxing or pro boxing, what does that have to do with what we're talking about? Make it make sense. This is why, Josh, I'll be like, I got so many interviews I got lined up with these amateurs, male and female. Man, I'm separating myself, Josh, from this. I'm not waiting till 2026 to change what it is that I'm doing. Like, everybody be like, I got a New Year's resolution. I don't have no more New Year's resolution. I'm not making no more New Year's resolution. I'm just going to do what I do, and it starts now. I'm not waiting till the ball drop. I'm doing it now. Because I see it's just a lot of stuff you got to separate yourself from. It's a lot of people you have to separate yourself from. There's going to be some channels you're going to have to separate yourself from because nothing's going to change. The shaking and faking is not going to change with people. These weird conversations that they having on YouTube is not going to change. It's not going to change. It's just going to get more weird and weird because we're opening the door to let anybody and everybody inside boxing. But when we talk about the youth and the community and these amateurs, I'm always going to be there for them. I don't care what anybody say. I'm always going to be here for these amateurs. New York, New Jersey, Texas, wherever. Survive how I know how to. I ain't getting it. Yeah. No, I'm not either. I'm not either, Josh. I'm not either. I swear to God, I'm not. I'll be 43 January 9th. I don't have time for it. If we ever get to a point we got the gang bang boxing, that's crazy. We go to an amateur show. We don't need two families trying to murder each other. And we don't need somebody in the family making fun of somebody, pissing the other side off where the other side reacted. Here it is. We got a full brawl. Y'all got to stop that. Because it don't just be these kids. You grown adults be responsible for the behavior. Y'all come to these fights high, drunk. Let's not see no more of that. We don't want to see that. It's about these kids. Y'all can't fight the vice president, no matter if it's a man or a woman, rather if you like them or not. Because they'll be the one to ban you and tell you that you can't even come back. Y'all cannot be out here crashing out, banging out on boxing. For you YouTubers, get it together. Get it together. And when I mean get it together, I mean get it all the way together, not halfway together. Get it all the way together. There is no gang banging when it comes to boxing, amateur or pro. Because it's not going to happen where I'm at. That's why I don't allow it over here. We're going to have a respectful conversation. For some of y'all that don't know what a respectful conversation is, hey, why don't you subscribe to the No Duck Zone? And I'll show you what a respectful conversation is. A respectful conversation is whatever I say goes. No. We're going to agree to disagree, and then we're going to keep it moving. You looking for a debate place? This ain't it. Bye. Go find something to do. Because you trolls ain't welcome here. Anybody who thinks they're going to cause a disturbance or a distraction or any confusion, you're not welcome here. You're not welcome here. I'm going to keep these doors open for real conversations. I'm going to keep these No Duck Zone doors open for every amateur in the world, not just New York, but the world. That means, Josh, where you live at, where D Free lives at, where Crush lives at, where everybody's living at. Yes, I'm going to keep these doors open for them. When I close these doors to No Duck Zone, that means I accomplished whatever it is that I needed to accomplish, and I could go live the rest of my life. Until then, I got work to do, and I'm going to keep these doors open for these fighters. I'm not going to keep these doors open so we can get up here and argue about a bunch of dudes that don't give a damn about me and you. And fighters that's not doing what they supposed to do, we're whining about who they're not fighting, who we want them to fight. But then other than that, we still keep giving them attention. I'm not gonna I ain't never keep giving a girl some attention that didn't wanna holler at me. I moved on to the next. And by the time she wanted, it was too late. Tay Tay, my Long Island sister, what up? Yo, Tay Tay, I'll be out there. Tay Tay, I'll be out there September 27th at Stereo Garden. It's a great amateur show. I don't know what you got going on September 27th. That's a Saturday. You might want to get you your ticket. Strong Island Fight Night Series. It's a great amateur show, Tay Tay. Great amateur show. I don't know what you're doing September 27th, but Stereo Garden, if you can. So I don't do it. I don't do it. And I'm not going to do it. That's a fact. I'm not doing it. So like Tay said, I replace. Yeah, if you're not Tay, don't worry about it. I was just giving you a heads up in case you needed something to do that day. I'm replacing all these conversations that y'all having. I'm replacing it by having these talks about the youth, the amateurs. Yo, McLean, that's why you don't participate. I participate. Listen, I don't mind participating in the boxing conversation. I don't mind. But once y'all get the gang banging, I want no PC in that. I don't want no parts of that. Because where is it getting me? Where is it getting me? Where is it getting you? Y'all up here loving hip-hop and it on here. That's what y'all on here doing. Y'all giving me them loving hip-hop vibes. Basketball wives, y'all giving me all them kind of vibes. Not over here. Nobody wants that. At some point, we got to come together and go, hey, look, man. Or don't come together. But the gang banging on the sport of boxing is not going to get us anywhere. All we doing is having the same conversations. Racism is coming up. This is coming up. It's a lot of stuff that I just get so sick of. It makes me sick to my stomach. It pisses me off to the high level of pissivity. Because it's y'all just stay boxed in when it comes to one thing in boxing. And that's debating. Well, I tell you what I debate on. I debate on this, right? Or I could say it's not debatable. That I'm going to continue to be with the youth, these young amateurs, males and females. I don't care if they're 6 years old or if they're 25 years old. I'm going to continue to do what it is that I do. Y'all can have these other conversations. Y'all can have it. Because y'all love it. Y'all can have it. I don't want it. I want no PC in it. I don't want it. I will continue to push for amateur boxing until I can no longer push for it. And I'm going to be with it with amateur boxing for the rest of my life. Somebody said, you ever see yourself in pro boxing as being a promoter? Hell no. No disrespect. I can see myself as working for a promotional company as a scout, somebody who goes out and scout amateurs. Yeah, I could do that. I could do that part. Of course. That part wouldn't be hard because that's me already. Yeah, to have my promotional company in amateur boxing, yeah, of course. I'm always gonna stay in that lane. I'm always gonna stay in that lane. That's just always gonna be me. That's my comfort, helping these kids to my best ability. So when I see more people getting involved with the youth, I don't want to sit there and take full responsibility for it. Like, yeah, I'm the one that started it, because there was some people that had been with the amateurs way longer than I I don't want to say what I did with it because I don't want to say, oh, it's trending now because I did it. I don't want to do that because that might be taking too much credit. I'm not gonna do that because there were some people that was in this way before me. I just feel like I stay consistent with it. And I will continue to stay consistent when you hear me talk about it. So the grand opening that we just went to this past Saturday, it was dope. I'm hoping to see more. Tay, I'm hoping where you at Long Island, there's a Cops and Kids. So when there's a grand opening, depends on what part of Long Island is in, I can pull up if I can, because I'm there even when I'm not there. It's just about moral support. Rather if people want me to be there or not, rather if you like me or not, I don't need your permission to be great. Smash that like button, y'all. Good morning to everybody, man. Peace and blessings, man. Happy Monday to everybody. I hope everybody get the way they're going safe. You just remember one thing when you're doing something, no matter how many funny looks you good, no matter how many times people whisper under their breath, no matter what it is, because you got some people out there that support you. You don't need people's permission to be great. Okay, let me say that again because that probably went over some of y'all heads. You don't need people's permission to be great. Go be great. God told me to go be great, so guess what? I'm going to go be great. You think I'm going to not be great because what people got to say about me? Because people who want to shake and fake with me or people who want to act like they support me? That's going to stop me for anything? You know, it could have stopped me. It could have slowed me down. I could have gave up. I could have said, what the hell with this and walked away. I said, you know what? That's going to make me work 10 times harder now. It just makes me work 10 times harder now. And I don't need your permission to be great. So all this I'm saying is, at some point, we all going to have to work together, rather if we like it or not, to make our communities better, to make sure these kids stay off the streets. We don't want no more kids dying. I don't know about y'all. I don't want to see no more kids dying. I don't care if they black, white, whatever their nationality is. I don't want to see no more kids dying. So if it takes boxing and to have these programs to keep these kids from dying, let's create more. Let's do it. Let's act more civilized on these YouTube channels when some of these kids want to go and may look at us. They can't come to our channels and look at us and we acting like a bunch of project babies because we're not agreeing on something when it comes to boxing. Are you kidding me? How much longer y'all think we could keep gang banging on boxing? How much longer? Yeah, sorry, y'all. Y'all don't want to hear it. It is what it is. Oh, we like the gang banging on boxing. It causes controversy. It brings views. Yeah, but that has nothing to do with why we're on YouTube. If you like to just cause controversy, y'all need to go see if Love and Hip Hop is hiring. Go see if Basketball Wives is hiring. Maybe that's where y'all need to go. You need to be on the reality show if you like that kind of garbage. We're not here for that. And some of y'all need to be reminded of that. Y'all know I don't care about views. I don't care about if I don't have 50 people in here watching me. If I got three people watching me and 2 likes, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I can have nobody watching me. That ain't gonna stop me from talking. Some people, they don't know how to do it. They don't have enough people watching them. They don't have enough likes. They ready to end their life. Not me. You gonna get this work. The words of my man, Lodi Luck, you gonna get this work. Because I know what I do serve a purpose, rather if you like me or not. Not liking me is just gonna make me work 10 times harder. God sent me to do a job, and I will fulfill that. I will do what He asked me to do, or what He told me to do, and that's to continue to be there for these fighters, for the youth, for these amateurs, and I will do that. We will be back. I'll be back today. I'll be in the boxing gym, El Maestro, in the BX, another dope gym you got to check out when you come to the BX. Akando, what up? I'll be in the BX today. Got a female amateur who will be fighting on that card I just told you about, September 27th. There's a couple of fighters who's fighting on that September 27th card that I'm going to try to get up with before the 27th. We got about 2 weeks not next week, I think the week after, for the 27th. So it's going to be a couple people I'm going to try to get up with on that card and see what I can do. Because I know they're busy. A lot of them are in school. A lot of them are working. So I'm going to do my part to see who I can get up with, how fast I can get up with everybody. But far as this week, far as boxing, I'm not going to lie to y'all. I don't know what this week is going to hold, but I am going to wait till Friday to speak about Canelo and Crawford. I'm not going to go today, tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, because like I said, some of y'all been going crazy over it, and we can't have a rational conversation. So I'll wait till after the weigh-in Friday, and then from there I'll go on, and then Saturday morning, I might get up and do a little bit more of it. We're just going to go from there. I might do it that Friday and Saturday. Or if I don't do it that Saturday, I'll do it that Sunday. But that next Monday, it won't be that Canelo and Crawford conversation. Because if I talked about it Friday or Saturday or Sunday, I'm not going to go all next week with it. So I'm giving y'all a heads up right now. I don't care what nobody feels about it or how you feel about it. Gabriel Fundora will be fighting next Saturday. So which means I will be tuning in to her week. And there's amateur boxing next week. So that's how that goes over here. So if being over here is too boring for you, then this ain't for you. Sorry, but that's how it's going to go over here. We're going to have real content over here. And we're going to talk about the boxing matches that make sense. Not all this other silly shit y'all see going on. We're going to talk about what makes sense. Because over here, we care about the truth. We don't care about popularity, and we don't care about views. So, y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. I love y'all. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Y'all know what it is. It's the No Duck Zone podcast. Let's go.